What's up guys, Udimsa here. Today we're back again. In this video we're going to be playing some Olaf in the jungle. So I've been playing a bunch of Olaf lately, and I'm telling you, Olaf is such a sleeper pick right now. It's such a strong champ, and most people don't really realize it. I rarely see it in ranked, but I think it's a very, very solid pick, and you provide a lot to your team. You have really good mid-game fighting, and even your late game isn't bad. I know people say Olaf falls off in the late game and stuff, but I kind of disagree with that. You can still do a lot with Olaf in the late game. You're still relatively strong in my opinion. But yeah, the recording didn't start at the very beginning, so for those of y'all that are wondering, it's Diamond Elo right now. It's high diamond for this match. But for this match, I'm actually just starting off with a normal clear. So something cool about Olaf is you can actually start at the blue buff if you want. If my duo lane is on the top side, then they can give me like a super fat leash. So if you're going up against a jungler that you want to 1v1 and that you think you can beat an early game skirmish, and your duo lane is on top side and you get a good leash, then you could definitely start blue buff, go to red, and then go into the scuttle on that bot side. Because that'll increase the odds that you run into the enemy jungle at that scuttle fight. Because most junglers just do red to blue clear. So if you switch it up, then you can run into them at the scuttle. And of course, if you're stronger than them, then that does give you a good advantage. So there I'm looking at that lane, and that's really not gankable. A lot of people might say go for that gank, but I'll say the one weakness about Olaf is you don't have a big gap closer. So a lot of champs, Wukong, Lee Sin, Vi, they all have really good gap closers to help gank, but that is Olaf's like one weakness is pre-level 5, it's very hard because you literally have to just run up to them and attack them. And that's why going for these small fights on the river is super strong, because it's easier to get onto champs instead of like going for that gank. He's super low over here, so I do decide to go in this scuttle gets glitched. So right now he's super low. And I'm not sure if he has flash or not. He flashes. I'm able to just flash on top too, and I was able to pick up that kill. But notice how it is hard because you really don't have any good gap closures, and I don't know why these minions are still aggroing me because there's no way there's a ward in that bush, but that's fine. Okay. So now, look at the map. I have camps on both sides of the jungle, so which side do I go to? This is actually a very good question, and looking at my lanes, none of them are really gankable. Like, I can't really get any kills, so what you want to do is you want to go to the side that you think the enemy jungle is going to gank. Because looking at that bot side, there's a good chance that Lee Sin might show up there just because they're pretty overextended. So if you go for the camps on this side of the map and the Lee Sin ganks, then you can easily counter gank. So here now, I actually make a mistake. I choose to go up to this Nasus because I think they're fine. I really should have stayed on that bot side. Also keep in mind that we have no wards on that, or we don't have too good vision on that bot side. We do have one ward, but this was a mistake on my part going over to this camp over here. I should have just gone to the golems or whatever they're called down there, and I easily could counter gank. That's a really key part of deciding where to go as a jungler, is figuring out where you could literally just look at it from the enemy jungler's perspective. What's the best gank for pretty much from their position? Ganking that top side is really hard. Now, of course, it's possible because they're lower, but when they're healthier, of course, there's no way he's going to go for that. So really, the ganks that the Lee Sin would do are either that mid side or that bot side. So you can ghost your laners. That's what I like to call it, pretty much. You're hanging around in the area and you're keeping an eye out. You're being aware, pretty much. And if the Lee Sin goes for the gank, you can counter gank super easily because you're already on that side of the map. Whereas, like, I went to the top side, and then the Lee Sin went for a gank in that mid and bot area, and I was too far away. So for now, the one thing about going for Trinity Force first is that, of course, you can't really get it before the first dragon unless you get a lot of kills. So I just build into boots to help with this first dragon fight. Because again, this first dragon fight is really, really where we want to fight. Because I think this is really where Olaf shines. If you get a good ultimate, you get onto the carries super easily. So for now, I see that Lee Sin's over there. We get a really good kill on that bot side. They're pretty low, but I see that Zed actually ults the Lee Sin. I know the Lee Sin's super low, so I'm like, we should just rush this really quickly. We can get this low and force him into a bad position. Plus with the Jhin dying, he's going to have to come all the way back. So for now, I really would just want to get this and then dip out. I'm able to get the secure on this, even with the lag. And now I land the ult, we get the kill, and now we're on the run. So that was really good. We got the kill, we got the dragon. And now this Lee Sin keeps on trying to chase. I'm able to turn, put some damage back onto him. I just chunked him like halfway, which is pretty insane. But he actually used everything on me, so we're able to get that kill over there. But now I'm getting close to my Trinity Force. I'm not too far away. Start heading towards that top. So I see the Nasus ult, so of course he's going to keep on going for that engage. Let's see what's going on over here. Yep, he gets that kill. I know he already ulted, and look over here. I don't have my ultimate or anything, and I'm Olaf. This is the one weakness of Olaf that I was talking about earlier. Like, I really can't get onto him. I kind of screw up my axe there, but either way, I won't be able to kill him, even if I did land it. Just because you don't have good gap closing, and I think that's really key in not forcing the gank. So of course at the level, or after I did my jungle clear, I got a really good kill onto Nasus. That was a bit lucky that I was able to get that kill. But if you don't see a good gank like that, don't force it, because with Olaf, it's super easy to screw it up. And I'm telling you, there's a pretty big learning curve when I first started learning Olaf, because I made that mistake a lot. I'd keep on trying to force these ganks, but I don't have good gap closing. It's just hard to do. So you can literally just keep on farming, and wait till you actually see a good opportunity where you think you could do something. So over here now, again, this was a mistake. I'm working on this. I should have just gone to the, not the Raptors, because the bot side was overextended, so of course there's a good chance that they're going to get ganked. But over here now, I do something smart. I go for the cross map play. I know that the Lee Sin was on the bot side, so I choose to just go for this Herald. They got the kill onto Lee Sin, so I know he's not really a threat. I could have had two options here. I could have either gone for that top turret, or I could go for this Herald. That's kind of a... I wouldn't necessarily say one is better than the other. Oh, and can somebody tell me what did like 1400 damage there? That happens to me a lot whenever I'm taking Rift Herald for some reason. It just randomly gets bursted down so much damage for no reason at all. And over here now I'm going for the turret and the kill. Trying to get here. The Nasus just goes completely that way. He kind of gives up. I can just smite him and track him down if I needed to. But now we actually get the first turret, and this is actually really key as a jungler. And that's one reason I wanted to play on this top side of the map over here, is because that turret was super low to begin with. And there's a small time frame between that first and second dragon where that dragon's going to be down and there's not going to be any turrets taken. And looking to see which turrets you can get, which ones you can put pressure on, is huge, just because taking a first turret is worth 1,000 gold for your entire team. Everybody gets 200 gold, plus you get the gold from getting the plates, which is a lot of gold, and it's probably in all about 2,000 gold. So over here now, I'm pretty much able to run these guys down. I got my glorious enchantments, and that's a very good dodge from Lee Sin, but the burn from, or something from, what's his name, Rakan got him. So that's really good. We got 3 kills down there. We're looking to push this turret. Now we got 2 tier 1 turrets, which is really, really good. So in Olaf, I like to go Trinity Force and then into my Glorious right away. And at that point, you have really good gap closing, because with your ults plus the Glorious enchantments, you can run up to enemies super easily. And actually for runes, you can go between Phase Rush and Conquer, in my opinion. I've been testing out both of them. I'm not exactly sure which one's better, but there are benefits to both, of course. And I think it really just depends how you're planning on playing the match. So of course, if you're planning on running down the enemies, like completely just chasing them, Phase Rush is probably better because you get the bonus movement speed. If the enemy frontline is super tanky, you know, they're gonna be right on you, then Conquer is probably better for the straight up face to face. And over here, I'm getting so much lag and frame drops. I've been getting frame drops this entire match, actually, if you haven't noticed, like ever since that first dragon. But I really can't do anything over here. I don't know if this happens to y'all. If you do, or if you know any fix or why, just please comment down below. I have a suspicion that it might be because I'm recording, and that's actually why lately I've been doing a bunch of replays, because sometimes this happens when I'm recording. I'm not sure if that's the reason, but I get a bit of frames back. We're back to 30 FPS, 30 FPS, and able to go back into this. And look at how much damage I do. Like, it's insane how much damage you could do as an Olaf. And really, I'm just playing smart. I'm just not going for bad engages. I'm not going for bad ganks. I think that's the downfall of a lot of Olafs, is they do go for bad ganks. And then they stay in teamfights too long, I think. Like, after you do the damage that you can, don't just stand there, in my opinion. Over here, I have to smite early because I didn't want to die. I'm able to get the secure my third ability, which is very nice. And that's actually something you do in Olaf, because of course your third ability deals true damage, and you could do so much with it, and securing dragons is one of the things you could do, actually. Third ability Smite, that's a very good combo, and you can outsmite a lot of junglers doing that. So right now I'm tracking down this Lee Sin, trying to get onto him. We force him to use a bunch of stuff. I think the Ziggs flashed out too. We get the Nasus, and now we dip. So this is what I'm talking about. Just get what you can and then don't overstay. So now I'm starting to push this bot side of the map. This wave was I was in a very good position. And one thing that I've been talking about lately in my videos is wave management, because a lot of people fail to push out these waves, the side waves especially. And it really is a downfall, because let's say you get a kill like that. If your waves aren't in a good spot, you can't really convert. And over here, the Zaya is kind of popping off, actually. If your waves are in a bad spot, then you can't really convert the kills into anything. But over here, notice how we got the kill, and then just because of where our wave was, I was able to get that bot side turret, put some pressure over here, and now I'm able to just turn onto this. I've got my Glorious and everything, so I can literally just run that down. And that's what's so strong about Glorious once you do get ahead on Olaf. If somebody's alone like that and you know they're alone, you literally just Glorious at them, ult when you need to, and boom. There's literally nothing they could do. Plus, that's still a flash up. But one thing to notice there is I didn't just start the engage right away. First, I dragged him a bit away from turret because I didn't want him to like kite back or flash back underneath turret, and then that put me in an awkward position. Because again, as I was saying with Olaf, you don't really have a good runaway tool. Like, for example, like Lee Sin, you could just dash away. Vi, you could just first ability charge away. With Olaf, you can ult away, but you really don't want to be using your ult defensively too much. You want to mostly be pin on the aggro. So now I see my team starting the fight, and they get a huge knock up by the Rakan, and they just completely delete them. So now I'm pushing this mid wave. I see this Nasus is by himself. I know he was by himself. I've got my Guardian Angel and everything up, so I'm like, okay, man, I'm just gonna completely destroy this guy, and yeah, there's nothing he can really do. I think he kind of gave up there. Oh, report Olaf. I didn't see that when I was playing. Report me for what? What did I do? But over here again, like, look at our wave management. It's in such a good spot. So now we're able to get this inhib turret. Oh wait, I stole a pentakill? Oh my gosh. I'm a horrible person. Yeah, don't do that. Wait, I didn't even notice. Oh wait, I guess the Zaya did get a quadra. Oh, that was pretty far apart though. I didn't even remember that when we were going for the Nasus. That was a very good stasis by the Ziggs. And over here, I'm not diving this. That's crazy people talk. I'm waiting for him to get dragged a bit away from turret because, again, engaging next to turrets is not the move. It's something a lot of people do, but I drag him away a bit, and I go onto him. I'm trying to smite down this Lee Sin. I'm able to get him. I actually was going to go onto the Nasus, and then I saw the Braum was like way squishier than the Nasus, and I was like, oh man, I can deal more damage to this Nasus. Or not to the, or I can deal more damage to the Braum. But now I'm looking at this, and notice how I'm not just hard engaging, or wait, no, I am about to engage actually. Oh, look at the phase rush here. Look at the phase rush here. Like, look at how fast I am. That's insane. Like, you get so much movement speed with your phase rush up. But yeah, actually, I don't go for the full-on engage because I don't have my ult or my Glorious Enchant up. And without those two up, it's very hard to track down people. So now I got my ults back up. I dealt a bunch of damage. Me and the Zed are just able to clean this up, and now I Glorious right onto this Jhin, and sadly he was able to get me retraded, but it's cool. I think we cleaned this up. But yeah, like, my FPS has been going crazy this entire match. I think it's because I'm recording, but I really don't know. So if any of y'all have this problem, or you know any fixes or any reasons why this might be happening, or any alternate ways to record videos where this won't happen maybe, please do let me know, because that would be extremely helpful. Because you can see my FPS has been dropping to like 30 a bunch this entire match.
On my way.
And if you're enjoying this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below. The support definitely means a lot, and we're finally getting back to positive sub growth because, of course, people are unsubbing since I switched games, but finally we're getting back there, and it is very nice. Oh, but talking about abilities, you always max your third ability first. It deals just so much damage. And then I've seen people debate about whether you max out your first or your second ability next. Personally, it really depends on the match, but most of the time I go for second ability just because the extra life steal, the extra attack speed, it comes in handy a lot. Of course, if the match is like super, you're just trying to chase down people and you're really good at landing your first ability, definitely do upgrade your first ability because it gives you a stronger slow. But if you aren't confident in your first ability and you aren't running them down too much, and over here I actually make a huge mistake. I choose to run down the Ziggs and I didn't look at the itemization. And over there I waste so many seconds on my ultimate, and every second of your ultimate is just so key. And using your ultimate at the right time is also key. You really don't want to just run in there, use your ultimate right away. You want to use it right as you think you're about to get CC'd up. That way you get the maximum time for it. So over there, I wasted a bunch of time just waiting for like Ziggs, and look at me, can just like delete this Lee Sin. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you have not, and I'll see y'all in the next video.